it's Friday night, right? And I get a text from somebody that, hey, Antonio Brown has put out a YouTube video where he's recorded John Gruden, conversation he's had with John Gruden. And I'm like, okay, I'll bite. And I look at it. It's a beautiful video. I mean, whoever's doing his videos, I mean, it's great. Yeah. It really is beautiful, striking. The cinematography. I never thought I'd use that words to describe anything of Antonio Brown. The cinematography on Antonio Brown. And he included a whole bunch of audio, or his people included a whole bunch of audio of NFL media folk to talking about Antonio Brown's behavior, including me asking the question of Drew Rosenhaus's agent through Stacey Dales on our Thursday night broadcast, is Antonio all right? Which, as I tweeted out, 100% based on genuine concern for a player who I met post-game of a Thursday night football game years ago where he crushed it, balled out, kid from South Florida. Dion wanted him to come on the set too. We asked Ben first, and Ben declined. I'm telling you. And then Antonio Brown showed up, and it was that kid who balled out against, I think it was against the Browns. Mike Wallace wanted the big contract. He was the one who was just doing all the hard work and just dominating. And he was a delight to talk to. And all of the behavior, from the feet to what I saw on Hard Knocks to the helmet to the screaming and the yelling at Mayock and the apologizing and to his team. I mean, again, Thursday he apologizes to his team, and it looks like they were letting him back into their graces. And you could hear the phone call that Gruden made to him. Like, what the hell's the matter with you? Essentially is what he said. And then comes Saturday. That the report from Chris Mortensen that Gruden found it amusing. And I'm like, okay, how many things is this guy going to do that Gruden is going to good cop here? And somehow, some way, there was a disconnect. Either Rosenhaus didn't let him know this was possible, or telling him it was coming. The Raiders didn't tell Rosenhaus it was coming, and they just told Antonio Brown, you're going to be fined $200,000 for this thing with Mayock, and all of your guarantees are gone. You got to play week to week for us. And then comes the Instagram saying, release me on Saturday. And Chris Mortensen's report Sunday that he reached out to social media consultants last week to speed up his departure from Oakland. Look, I've heard of crisis management people in social media and public relations. I've never heard of reputation exploding experts. Here's how to explode your reputation. Are they the ones who told him, hey, have you been fined, Antonio? You have? Okay. You should Instagram story out your fine letter and use the word evil to describe your team. That's what you should do. You know what you should do? Here's what you should do. Tape John Gruden imploring you to be a professional, and put that out. You see what you should do. Really, those people exist? Because it sure doesn't seem like Antonio needs that help. But of course, it's all going to work out in New England. Of course, it's going to all work out in New England. Because nobody takes the oxygen out of a story that would normally burn down your football house, quite like the New England Patriots. And it all starts with Bill Belichick, who handles the media in a way that, certainly when you ask him a straight up yes or no question, just removes everything from the equation. So they dominate the Steelers last night. And it's his first time being in front of media after signing Antonio Brown. On the spot. Literally on the spot. I mean, we were in NFL Game Day morning meeting. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock Eastern time, and it had already been done. And he's not officially released until 4 o'clock Eastern. That's when it was. So this was Bill Belichick last night after the game. Go for it, Mike.
Bill, I just wanted to see, do you have any comment on the reports? And
No.
Was that Tommy?
Sounded
Tommy
like Tom.
Curran?
He didn't even get out Antonio Brown's name.
But you just don't say. Don't ask a yes or no question to the man. Here's another one.
Bill, your offense was obviously very productive tonight, but Antonio Brown already put out on social media that he's joining your team. What might he add? Can you tell us anything about that decision?
Yeah, no. I'll talk about the game. Players that are on our team, I thought they did a great job tonight offensively. We had some balance and made some big plays, had a couple big throws down the field for touchdowns and big gains. So, anytime you can get those explosive plays, that helps open things up.
Why'd you sign him? That's the question. Why did you sign? And he could then say, well, it's not official yet, so I can't talk about it.
Right.
Why did you sign Antonio Brown? Why?
He's a top 5 wide receiver.
I understand that. It's, I will just say this, so patently disappointing for so many fans. And I understand you're a Patriot guy. You didn't want him. You said you didn't want him.
I don't think they needed him to win the Super Bowl. But
you also don't want to invite that behavior into your house.
Yeah. It appears to be disruptive. Whether or not he changes, I guess we'll see.
You didn't want him.
Didn't want him.
Okay. That just goes to show you how insane the behavior was that you don't want. And it runs completely counter to everything that I saw for the 2 days at the NFL 100 taping. A keeper of the NFL flame, where respect must be paid to the game, and it is paid back to the men who respect it with championships, because we're all pulling in the same one team, do your job direction. I was so impressed. The modern day Lombardi, however, reaches into the page of the latter day Lombardi, because he is the modern day Lombardi, not just because of the X's and O's, but because winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. And he handles the media in a way where he doesn't answer the question, or it doesn't get posed properly. And he's got a GOAT at quarterback, and he has a level of success that demands the respect that Antonio Brown clearly did not have towards the end of his reign for Mike Tomlin, and clearly never had for John Gruden, and absolutely didn't even remotely have for Mike Mayock. And for this guy to behave the manner that he did, to get out of Oakland the manner in which he did, and then get rewarded by playing for the privilege, normally, to play for the Patriots, so disappointing for so many fans. I got texts and tweets and DMs of people just saying they got sick to their stomachs over all of that.
It's because they already hate the Patriots, though.
It has nothing to do with the Patriots. It would have been anybody. Obviously, the Patriots lend a different level to it.
Yeah.
Different level to it.
Also, they're able to do it because Bill is maybe the only coach in the NFL, aside from Mike Tomlin, maybe Pete Carroll, with the job security and the pedigree to take a guy like this on.
Which is why we're going to see if Antonio Brown is really crazy or crazy like a fox. Because if he mucks this up, and I'll direct one last time, I'm assuming, to the camera to Antonio Brown. You, sir, have the best situation you've ever had. You've got the best coach you ever played for, best quarterback you've ever played for, with all due respect to everybody else who's coached and quarterbacked for you. The best.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download the Rich Eisen Show app.